Keffals put out a new video. She was swatted and then some. Okay, let's watch this Keffals got swatted thing. Let's watch this content. You know, obviously, let's go. Let's take a look at this.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle in my face at my home. I was told later that at 6 a.m. that morning, an email impersonating me was sent to every city councillor in the City of London, Ontario, stating that I have an illegal firearm, that I killed my mother, and that I plan to go to City Hall and shoot every cisgender person I see. I was shown the email while I was being interrogated in police custody. While the emails were riddled with grammatical errors and read more like something a troll would say than something I would sincerely say, the police took it seriously. Not only that, the email said my name was Clara Sorrenti, but also stated what my dead name was. It was an obvious attempt to make the police humiliate me. During the arrest, the police officer referred to me by my dead name. I was booked in the station under my dead name. The police...
Yeah, that's pretty gross. That's pretty gross. Yeah. I mean, the thing about being a content creator and hope you guys don't mind me like adding my commentary here, is that there's a lot of crazy ass motherfuckers out there. There's a lot of crazy ass motherfuckers. People will come to me with some shit from 2019 and it's like, and they will come at you with like 100%, 100 miles an hour with some weird shit from years ago. And you're like, dude, are you okay? And if you're an activist for something like trans rights, like Keffals is, you're going to get some of the most virulent hate that exists on this planet. And so we'll be talking about let's finish this, then I'll talk a little bit more about what swatting really is.
When talking to my mother, referred to me as her son. This is despite the fact that I have run as both a member of parliament and a member of provincial parliament under my name, Clara Sorrenti. The fact that a fake email led to London Police Services booking me under my dead name reveals the prejudice that many police have towards transgender people. This is despite the fact that the email contained my real name before ever even mentioning my dead name. This is one of the property bags returned to me after I was released from custody. All of the property bags returned to me have Roberts written on them. Roberts was my last name until I legally changed my name first to Kaylee Sorrenti on January 25th, 2012, and then later to Clara Sorrenti on March 7th, 2018. When I changed my name, I took my mother's maiden name. My last name has not been Roberts in over 10 years. The only reason that Roberts is on the property bags is because I was booked under my dead name. A search warrant was issued, which I have a copy of here. They were looking for a handgun, ammunition, cartridges, cleaning tools, a gun case, cell phones, and computers. They seized both my personal and work phone, as well as the work computer that I broadcast on Twitch from. Not only that, but the police seized my fiance's cell phones and laptop, as well as their external drive, which contained the only copy of their PhD thesis and other important university documents. Because of the negligence of the police, we were both left functionally unemployed, and I have spent thousands of dollars replacing our computers and cell phones so our lives aren't completely destroyed by what happened to us. After the police interrogated me and realized this is a situation that has happened to me before, I was released with no charges. Without my devices, I could not let people close to me know what had happened to me, and they were in the dark for hours. Even after acquiring a new phone, I still cannot log into some of my accounts because the London Police Service holds the phone that my two-factor authentication goes to. This same situation happened just over a week ago, on Sunday, July 31st, in a city I don't live in, Toronto. On that day, I talked to Sergeant Nathan Gibson after someone impersonating me made similar threats to Toronto politicians. Sergeant Gibson chalked it up to a swatting attempt. I was not charged with a crime, nor was I named as a suspect in an investigation by the Toronto Police. London Police Services should have been aware that this could happen. In fact, my brother called London Police Services on March 27th in a conversation lasting 9 minutes and 16 seconds to see if my family could be put on a no swatting list. only to be treated like we were wearing tinfoil hats and completely dismissed. They told my brother things would be fine. They were wrong. Despite getting a search warrant to search my home and finding no guns, as well as my mother alive and well, I am still a suspect in the investigation by London Police Services. My devices, including my fiance's hard drive that contains all of their important PhD-related documents, will not be returned to us before digital forensics analyzes them. This is a process my lawyer advised me could take months. Swatting is a crime. Identity theft is a crime. And because it was a crime that was motivated by hatred against transgender people, it was a hate crime perpetrated against me. Instead of the police helping me, they terrorized me and my loved ones, traumatizing me and leaving my fiance and I on the verge of losing everything. They victimized me for being the victim of a hate crime. I need your help because I can't do this alone. I started a GoFundMe to move immediately, recoup my losses, and build a legal fund to protect my rights. I have been subject to emotional damages, financial damages, blatant violations of the Human Rights Act, and discrimination on the basis of gender identity and expression. I was also subject to unjust seizures, which not only affected my livelihood, but has severely disrupted the work that my fiancé is doing in their doctorate program, and has the potential to impact whether or not my fiancé finishes their doctorate. Because there is no policy in my city against swatting, there is no guarantee this will not happen again, and my home is not safe. If you are a journalist or someone who works in media and you want to reach out to me for comment, you can reach me at inquiries@keffals.info. I'll leave all additional information and links in the description. I do not yet know when I'm going to be returning to broadcasting on Twitch. When I was woken up by police officers and saw the assault rifle pointed at me, I thought I was going to die. I feel traumatized. I just want everyone to know what happened and to ask for help so I can seek justice for what happened to me.
Apparently I never subscribed to Keffals' YouTube. But let me just say this about swatting. The thing is, like, I understand, and obviously we can spam all those the links to help Keffals out in the chat. The reality is, like, it's very difficult to actually find out who does the swatting attempt. There's like a lot of ways of obfuscating who you are, especially through things like email. And it sounds like the London Police Department is really incompetent. Sounds like the London Police Department is really, really fucking competent. And obviously, you know, they're a bunch of hogs. What can you say? Of course they're a bunch of hogs. They don't give a shit about respecting someone's pronouns or their legally changed name. Sounds like the police got the report, Googled her, saw what she was about, that said, fuck this person. I mean, we don't know. I doubt they did that. Most likely, the police just went in, they got the threats, and when there's threats against someone as powerful as a city council person in a city, they're taken seriously. You know, like, do you want to be the police sergeant that doesn't take a lethal threat against city council members or the mayor? No, of course not. You're gonna send in the SWAT team. You're gonna put officers to protect those public officials right away. You can't go, well, this is probably a swatting attempt. And the way she was treated after she was taken in is, yeah, because of transphobia, because the London PD is probably full of chuds. Police departments are full of right-wing psychos. What do you expect? You don't need to SWAT first, though. I mean, I'm not defending the London Police Department, but, you know, when someone says there's a murder that's already happened, the people that wrote that message expected the police to react with full force. And Keffals is lucky that she didn't die, or that she didn't have a dog that got shot. Like, that's the kind of stuff that could definitely happen. So that's my only fear. My fear is that by coming out publicly before she was, you know, in a new location, she's confirmed the SWAT, you know, and that's the thing that I get concerned about is, like, obviously, you know, once this has happened, you've got to get yourself on whatever kind of protected list you can, and you need to get the hell out of there. And as far as, like, who it's from, we can never really know, you know, and I don't want to see any mentions of the possible communities that it could be. Guy Andy Ngo was behind the Metropolitan Police in London, arrested Barrett Brown, and I would look directly at him and his network. I mean, It's impossible to know. If it's an obvious swatting, shouldn't the police release her stuff? You would think so. That's not how it works. And we really don't know where the person who did this comes from. So we can't say. Don't give them free attention, Don't do that. That's pretty disappointing and pretty scary, to be honest. They're going to do this to the wrong streamer and a cop will die and they're actually going to figure out who was... I mean, like, you have someone breaking into your house and you pull out a gun. That's exactly what happened to Breonna Taylor. That's exactly what happened to her. You don't want the police barging down your door ever. That is a fucking... As far as I'm concerned, that's an attempted homicide. 2 other streamers got swatted yesterday. Ludwig made a good video on swatting and a brief history in case anyone did. Does he? Can you link me that? You can watch that. And my Twitter is not loading.
How's it going, boys? Welcome back to Mogul Mail. Question for you. What do you want to be when you grow up? Say it out loud right now. What is your dream job? And I'm going to make a guess. If you're under the age of 18, I bet you said become a YouTuber. A recent study came out and it shows 75% of kids want to become a YouTuber when they grow up. Forget about fireman or astronaut. It's about being a YouTuber these days. And I get it. It's a cushy.
Chad, aim higher than me. Aim higher than Ludwig. Aim higher than Mr. Beast.
Gig. You can make a lot of money. You play video games for a living and you make your own hours. Plus, all you have to do is say subscribe down below, and then people actually do it. It's a good job. But it also has its negatives. Open secrets that I don't think are...
Good point. Subscribe down below. I put out this amazing content, and we're barely over the sub goal? Don't you know there are people that are in between jobs, that are unemployed, that are stay-at-home parents, that are disabled, that people that work paycheck to paycheck, and you're not giving them a free gifted sub right now? Are you some single IT tech bro making 6 figures plus watching me instead of working and you're not gifting subs? How dare you? Evan Devs, thank you for the 16 months.
Are talked about enough. And I know that a lot of YouTubers deal with one thing in particular, swatting. Now, if you don't know, if you're not from America, swatting is when someone calls the police as a prank and says there's an active shooter. The police show up America style, fully loaded, big-ass guns, vests, helicopters, lights to neutralize the threat. But the threat is actually some YouTuber or streamer hand-on dick playing Valorant hard-stuck bronze. But they still treat it like a really serious thing. And it's happened a lot in the past and had a bit of a resurgence the past few days.
Colonel Putty, thank you so much.
Who was live on his stream gambling.
Thank you.
Or I'm not playing it right, bro. God,
and you can see police show up, guns in hands, looking through the entire premise.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Now, this is something that you can see many compilations of different YouTubers or streamers getting swatted. It also happened to YouTube's
That's a praying mantis. Thanks for the 25 gifted again.
This one's weird. Let me give you the full context. He was live. He lit his PS4 on fire and then...
Officer! Yes,
on a call with a fake police officer.
Officer! What's happening? Officer! Is everything okay? Officer, I need help! Go to my house! Go! Go to my house! Okay.
What the fuck? Is this guy an Aiden Ross guy? This is the absolute bottom of the barrel. Just the worst content. Just the worst content.
Go! Where are you at? Go to my house!
Said this. No police officers going, okay, where are you at? It's obviously some made up thing. But then the police actually showed up. Someone actually swatted.
Oh, okay. A black streamer got immediately put in handcuffs. Of course. Of course. Big Secular, thanks for the 200 bits, bud.
Swatted him. And for a guy who plays a character that's always over the top, this is one of the first times I've ever seen Speed actually shaken. Kind of nervous. I mean, watch it.
Oh, they swatted you, bro. They swatted you. Okay. Yeah.
Look how many cops showed up! By the way, they all look like identical thumbs. This is incredible. Thoughts and Praying Mantis, you are incredibly generous. Thank you so much. Seriously. What the fuck?
Bro, is that public?
Yeah, it's I got it. You good, bro.
Bro, I didn't go, bro. Oh my God, bro.
And I get it. it's terrifying to get swatted. Now, thankfully, Aiden tweeted out both him and Speed are doing all right, probably a bit scared, but it can be a really bad situation. I actually got swatted before. I've never talked about this. I was in a swatting situation. Police showed up, guns in hands, and it's scary because they're telling you all the police things. Hands behind your back, hands behind on your head. Take one step back with your right, one step back with your left. And the entire
you're playing fucking Simon Says, except if you lose, you get shot. Arock, thanks for the 300 bits. I got my new Twitch badge. No more butthole. Aww. Hackstock, I'll miss your butthole. Chat, Hackstock had a sweet little pink butthole because he gave so many bits. Aww.
Time thinking, if I get one of these directions wrong, I die. I mean, that's what you see on the news, right? So it's scary. I do the whole thing. I finally get into a police car and I try to explain.
Blah Piccolo, thank you for the 10
YouTubes,
gifties.
I do streams. I know this has happened to other people.
Thank you
know
so
what
much.
The fucking police officer said, one of the police officers had the gall, the audacity to say to me after I explained it all, well, then you need to get a different job. You're wasting our time. I'm like, bitch, I didn't call. I got fired from all of my other jobs. That's why I'm here right now.
Abelina!
But some just don't get it.
Thank you so much for the raid. Abelina! Ace Ling, thank you for the 7 months. Everybody, please follow Abelina, an incredibly funny streamer and YouTuber. We watched the Steal from Corporations video like every day practically. One of my favorite videos of all time. Steal from Corporations, literally. So fucking good. Like, I want that full song. Can you finish that song? All right, let's keep going. Steal from, yeah! Can someone please gift Abelina a sub? And can someone please tell Abelina to release that as an actual single? It will chart. That shit is so good. I also brought, I did the Breonna Taylor. I talked about that. Like, you don't want to be trying to fight off intruders. You don't know who's trying to break into your house. Thank you, Paybe to Throw, for the gifted subs. And Thoughts and Praying Mantis, thank you for 10 more gifties. What do I do to get so lucky, chat? Mike, you're just being paid back for all the good things you've done and all the sacrifices you've made in the world. You earned it. No, I didn't. This is called luck. All right, let's keep going.
It's actually been pretty good in LA. The police department knows, the LAPD have a lot of streamers that they deal with, but it can be hit or miss depending on where you live. And it's at best something that will scare you and traumatize you, and at worst, something that can kill you. Now, you've probably heard about this case before, but a few years ago, there was these two guys playing Call of Duty. They got into a fight. They went into a private call, and one of the guys is like, all right, pull up,
Do I have an Insta?
Fight me, and gave his address.
I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. Also, I don't, like, you have to take pictures of yourself. Ugh. Can you imagine?
But it wasn't actually his address. It was his old address he used to live. I guess he panicked, and that's the first thing he could think of. The other guy on the call was clearly trying to goad out the address so he could swat him. And that's immediately what he did. And reading what he told the police is insane. He told the dispatcher that the guy killed his father, was holding his mother and brother at gunpoint, doused his house in gasoline, and was considering committing suicide. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The police show up, obviously high stress situation, fully armed, but it was someone totally random who knew nothing about this who opened the door. And the police, I guess because the high stress, shot the man and killed him. Now, the only thing that came out of it that is even slightly good is that the guy who did the SWAT call is going to jail for 20 years. I say put him in there longer, but at least an example is made from him in what I believe to be the only case where someone has died from swatting. It was actually
I mean, bro, anytime you send the police at someone, that is a fucking homicide. That is a potential homicide. By the way, chat, everybody, please follow Abelina. I think I mentioned that, but please do that.
actually a really good Netflix documentary about this.
Yo, is Abelina still here? If not, I totally understand. I raid and then immediately bounce too because I'm too tired after a show, but I'll keep going.
But this is something that any streamer or YouTuber you can think of right now has dealt with at some point, even if they don't talk about it. It's one of the scary parts of the YouTube streaming job.
I'll like raid my and then turn off my computer. Abelina is still here. Well, are you going to TwitchCon? I assume you are because it's like right up the road.
It's like too big to have your life be private, but too small to be Kanye West, where you have buff man outside your house protecting you from SWATs in Skeet Davidson. Anyway, boys, I thought I'd just let you know about it and keep you updated on that. Now you know that that's a thing that exists and can be a bit scary. Maybe that weans you off streaming and YouTube, but you know, it's just one of the negatives. Mostly positive outside of that. Thanks for watching, boys, and I'll see you next time for some other video about something else that I don't know because I'm a YouTuber. It's an easy job. All right, goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Andy, a communist Twitch streamer, asked who will kill Elon Musk. Oh, come on. Get the fuck out of here, Andy, you piece of shit. Ratioed. I missed this ratio. I feel like, you know, whenever you're dealing with the far right, it's a battle to the death. They think they want to kill because they have no core. They have nothing they really believe in. And that tension causes anger and violence. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.